There it is.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, depending where you are in the world. It's your boy Ramon Wilson again with the CFO, Brother Jonah Wilson, Black Capital Consultants, Building Black Wealth, Morocco Realty Incorporated. Again, we're back. Again, this is our first official one here on the YouTube channel. So if this is your first time checking us out, do us a favor, go ahead and like and subscribe, and make sure at the bottom of here, sorry about that, at the bottom of this video, you will see a little bell. Make sure you
You
click
see my
that bell.
shoulder?
That way you'll get notified every time we upload new videos and new content that is posted here on the YouTube channel. Also, feel free. The whole REI Junkies concept is about interaction, educating, and learning real estate investing the right way. By no means are anyone that comes onto this forum are we financial advisors or CPAs or anything. Even though we may have them, but we just want to put that full disclosure out here that investing is risky. Only invest in what you're willing to lose. So we have to put that disclaimer out there. But for the concept of this forum, we are here to educate and to build the community and talk about an open forum about different subjects, different strategies within the real estate market. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce uh, my other half of this juggernaut conglomerate what we're building here with the REI Junkies and with Black Capital Consultants building Black Wealth, Brother Jonah Wilson. So, Brother Jonah, if you could just let everybody know who you are, a little bit about your background, and we're going to get right into this.
Hello, everyone. I am Jonah Wilson. I am from the Wilson family in Tampa, Florida, known from the funeral businesses in Dallas. And furthermore, this is our first time on YouTube, so this is a big day for us. I am a real estate investor, full time, full spectrum. I went to real estate school in 2006 in Marietta, Georgia. That's a suburb outside of Atlanta. I did not pursue that career too far, and I jumped into investing. Now, since I've been investing hands on, it has been a very, very nice ride. There has been some turbulence, as in anything else should be, and I love every minute of it. I am 28 hours, 376 days a year real estate. All right, if that makes sense. But
Indeed.
yeah, go ahead, brother. Take us on in. I'm ready.
Yeah, no doubt. So, as you can see, welcome, brother. As you can see, we do have some individuals joining in. Peace, family. Peace.
All
Chris
right.
jumping in from Houston. What's going on? Um,
Hey,
as you
town.
exactly, say third coast born. That means I'm third coast raised. Okay, but
Hey,
uh,
hey.
but
Okay,
as
let's be.
as our audience out here can see, um, we are bringing not just novice or beginners to this game. As you heard in his introduction, he does this for a living. He eats, breathes, and sleeps this. He has a wealth of knowledge, has done this, and that is our goal, to bring individuals that not only can be book smart or book knowledgeable about the subject, but are actually out there, boots on ground, getting their teeth kicked in, and actually conducting and actually doing deals and closing deals in this business. So, without further ado, we're going to get into some topics. And earlier today, this morning, Brother Jonah had dropped something in our group. And by the way, if you want to be put into our group and learn for free, okay, just leave a comment down in the comment box, and we'll make sure that you get added to the group. But it was a topic that I've been discussing with Brother Jonah and some other mentors in this business, and it's about the lease option, the sandwich lease, and what's legal, what's illegal, and the Dodd-Frank. For those that don't know what that is, we're going to talk about that. But I think it's a very, very strong topic, and something that I think a lot of people need to know, because if you do it right and you do it well, you can obtain. Well, let me put it this way: you can control a lot of properties. The great Rockefeller said, control everything and own nothing. And that is very, very key to the real estate investing world. So, with that being said, Brother Jonah, I think the first thing we should talk about is talk about the lease option, the sandwich lease, and what exactly is it, and how it can be effectively used in the real estate investing world.
Okay, all right, that's just fine. And I'm glad we're touching on that. I'm gonna touch on some things I had wrote down afterwards, but just to get on this lease option lingo. First of all, no disrespect to other teachers out there and people who are trying to help as best they can when I say this, but I'm just gonna say how I feel about it and what I know about it, and we'll just leave it at that. When you're dealing with a lease option, all right, this is just my opinion. Take it how you want to. A lease option is not designed to do an installment agreement. All right, it's for that alone. Just that sentence alone sounds illegal as hell. If you're doing a lease option and you're using it as a financial tool or another form of an installment agreement, a lot of y'all know people that look like this. Y'all know people called the alphabet boys is what they call them in the streets. And usually when you're dealing with law enforcement, they call themselves by alphabets. They are taken seriously, whether it's FBI, DEA, or IRS. All right. Now, when you are doing a lease option and using it as an installment agreement, you're doing what's called a disguised sales. The IRS don't like that. Now, there's two major factors in this business or anything in this country you need to be aware of: the IRS and the judge and the FBI. Now, with that being said, what is the idea for a lease option? Okay, simple, real easy. Let's say that you decide to move. I'm in town from Pittsburgh, and I'm from Dallas. Now, when I move to Pittsburgh, I see some property I want. I don't know about Pittsburgh well enough. I've heard great things about Pittsburgh. I want to put my business in Pittsburgh, but every business needs to see how it's going to work before you buy. And sometimes you can lease a building for 2 years, 3 years, but we're going to talk about lease options. Let's just say we got a 6 month lease with the option to buy at the end of 6 months. The purpose for that is this: if I move into a neighborhood and I want to see if the schools are good, or if I want to see if this is the neighborhood for me, I want to lease it for 6 months first before I execute or exercise my option to purchase. Okay? That is it. The lease option is designed just to test the area before you purchase, whether it's a business move or a personal move. That's just from my research. You don't want to use a lease option to finance someone for the simple reason of the disguised sale, and for another reason, it's just not set up that way. You will see these groups that are on a national platform, or these people on a national platform, and they're saying do this as an installment tool or a way to get someone in a house they can't qualify to buy. Okay, but you don't have no experiences with leases. I have experience with leases. I have rental properties. I've been through the eviction process. I actually control property in 3 different states. And guess what? Each state has a different lease law. Each one. West Virginia is not a tenant friendly state. Ohio is really not, but they're more friendlier than West Virginia. So you can't have a universal lease program that works for everybody. It doesn't work like that. Each county, even in certain states, each county got different tenant rights and laws. So how can you make this a universal platform? Is all I'm saying. And I'm not trying to down talk anybody who's making a ton of money out selling people this dream that they can just use a lease option and all that until, let's just say, you have a tenant in your house and the water heater goes out and you decide to give them rent credit or something to that effect to where you're not fixing it. In any way or form, I'm using it for an example, they can have equitable interest in your property. All right. Now I could go over this all day and we can dig down into it. But guess what? If you have these people on a lease agreement and they're not qualified to buy this house, first of all right, they're not qualified, they can't afford it, but you have them as a tenant. Now, if they go to court and the judge gives them equitable interest, that lease agreement can be transferred over into an installment agreement. Now, there is a domino effect. Once you do that, you have pretty much put your house on owner finance under court order. Now you're in violation of Dodd-Frank. Dodd Frank wants you to qualify people before you put them in a home or lend them money. the Dodd-Frank regulates lending procedures in a loan. That's why it's important to have a loan originator now. All these things were implemented because of the 2008 crash. Before 2008, they was just giving loans, didn't care how you paid them back. All right. Europe. I mean, it took me a long time. I read this. It's the Dodd-Frank Act is a lot of paperwork. Europe implemented this to shut down banks. All right. When you have the power to shut down banks, you don't want to mess with these people. If I'm not mistaken, you can look this up. I think it's $1 million a day per violation. So you can lose your whole portfolio using the damn lease. All right. Excuse my French. But why not just use an installment agreement? Why are you putting these people on a lease anyway? There
Okay,
are tons. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
before you go too deep into that, brother, I want to back up some. And one thing that I've taken out of this, and we're going to touch on the Dodd Frank, and we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of using, you know, creative strategies to finance deals. But I want to go back to when you talked about an option. What is an option? Because a lot of people don't I think sometimes the way that the wording gets misconstrued is the option. What is an option when it comes to real estate investing?
Okay. Your option is it gives you the choice to buy, not the obligation. If that's the safe way of saying it. Now, you when you're doing these lease options, you need to have your option to purchase agreement separate from your lease agreement. And guess what? They don't need to coincide with each other. Nothing on this lease needs to give you credit on this option to buy. Because once that lease gives you credit on your option, you have a disguised sale. That's the whole trick with this thing, man. It sometimes this is real estate, but you got to go to the foundation of it and figure out why is this the rule. Well, the IRS don't want you doing disguised sales because that falls under a different tax bracket. I mean, I'm not a CPA at all, like he said earlier, but I do know the basics. I know enough to get down the road. Now, I do know this. You have to be aware of federal guidelines and the IRS, whatever you're doing. I don't care what you're doing, whether it's real estate or not. But that option is an option to purchase. You're not obligated. So if you have a 6 month lease, at the end of 6 months, there's another thing called right of first refusal. Okay, boy, you making me bring up stuff I forgot about. You have the right of first refusal and an option. Same thing. When you have the lease at the expiration of your lease to 6 months, the seller gives you the option to purchase right of first refusal first. You can refuse to buy or refuse at the agreed price, whatever you want to call it, right of first refusal, or you can exercise your option. You are not obligated. That's why it's called an option. There's no obligation.
Okay.
Usually, at the end of agreement, excuse me, at the end of agreements, you're obligated to do something. See, this keeps you from being in breach of contract. This also why I'm so big on learning contract law before you step a foot in this game, because you need to understand if you're going to make money just doing assignments, assigning contracts, not wholesaling. If you just want to make money assigning contracts, you need to understand contracts, period. The laws, the good faith law. A lot of people not even aware of the good faith law. The good faith law says that both parties need to do what they agreed to do. All right, it's a promise, or we are in breach of contract. That's the basis of all contracts. So people need to understand that. So when you're writing these contracts up and you're assigning these contracts to other parties, you better make sure you're not obligated to purchase, because these judges will make you purchase. Even though these contracts are predicated on fraud, most of the ones I see these days, that judge can overrule all that and make you pay. So do deal in integrity. I know I don't pretty much show integrity sometimes, but I believe in integrity. No matter how many times I cuss or how many times I use the F word or the S word, I still believe in integrity. I still believe in making good deals. Oh, and also, like I just said, deals are made. Sometimes people just think a deal is gonna fall out the sky because luck does happen. Now that is pretty much what leads into what I want to talk about today, which is something people need to hear about luck. All right, luck is a wild card, people, and it's all about how you respond to it. If you are optimistic, you're always looking for luck, and you will deem yourself lucky because you're always looking for it, and you won't miss an opportunity. But if you go to a poker table with that mentality, and your luck changes, you'll be on what's called tilt, and tilt will leave you broke at the end of the night. So if you can be a pessimistic and don't really look for luck. And when bad things happen, it doesn't affect your strategies. Now, I believe in the balance of these things. I believe one should be looking out for good things to happen, but prepare for the worst. All right. So let the luck work for you. All right. Make the most out of good fortune. If you was born to a good family or you have tools and blessings, make the best out of it. But if you were not born with good things, just because yesterday was bad don't mean tomorrow will be. All right. You're not in control of your past, but you can control your future. All right. I just wanted to put that out there for everybody. Be grateful for the good and be prepared for the worst. But this is one more thing I wanted to talk about because you brought it up right when we was finished. When we just started this conversation, man. I was talking to somebody the other day. I said, look, right now I feel like Yoda. You know, Yoda was a little bitty old green thing in this movie called Star Wars and Jedi Knights, right? But Yoda didn't live in the big mansion. Matter of fact, Yoda lived in the swamps, like the ghetto. Yoda wasn't in the business for the money, all right? Yoda was in it for the knowledge. And without Yoda, there wouldn't be no Jedi Knights, all right? But then there's this other side of the pot to where you could just come in and be a broker or an agent and make 7% or 6% of these 400,000 $1 million deals, depending on where you at, and you will have a multitude of money. I mean, you will have tons of money with no knowledge. And then you gotta sit back and ask yourself, what am I doing here? Am I in this business for the money? Am I trying to build a fortune? You know, or do I want to be the wise guy who has the power to get money at any time, but I need to get some more knowledge? These are the struggles I'll be having. All right, because I could easily go get my license and go do 7% on deals in Beverly Hills or something and be rich. Or I could continue to build my own way through the struggle. You know, like I used to tell my mom this. All right, I know I'm getting off track, but when you look at this business, man, sometimes it's a big ocean. All right. And at the bottom of the ocean, you have lobsters, crabs, all these different things are living at the bottom of the ocean. But as they graduate, you become bigger. You become a fish, or you become a whale, or you become a shark, or you swimming above the ground. But if you come in at the top and you have a bad fortune or bad luck, and you fall to the bottom, can you survive at the bottom of the ocean? Can you really compete with somebody like me who started out as a shrimp and then turned into a crab and a lobster, and then I turned into a swordfish and then a shark, and I'm supposed to be a killer whale. Next, I'm gonna turn into a goddamn island. Can you start from ground zero and work your way up? I'm asking this question because really, I have a lot of people in our group that are brokers, realtors. They started out as yachts, but they see so much at the bottom of the ocean, and it look like it's fun because it's a lot going on. It's a lot to be learned in real estate. So I got to ask myself, do I want to be Yoda and be the crab at the bottom of the ocean? I could survive at the bottom of the ocean. I just choose to be here. Or do I just want to be a dumb floater and just in it for the money? And at any given moment, if my real estate career changes, or if I have a bad fallout with my boss at this office or the broker, and now I can't sell houses from here no more, I'll be in my out forever. Then I'm coming to somebody like Yoda looking for advice on what to do next. These are the things that really haunt a real estate investor's mind. If y'all want to know in the mind of a real estate, what are you in this for? You know, how bad do you want to? Are you in this to teach? Or are you in this to, like, I mean, I could teach my son. My son, believe it or not, my son is 12. I send him on a bike to look at houses and take pictures. Then I send him out with contracts. Even though he's 12, he knows real estate better than a lot of people I know personally. And I'm going to show it off. I'm going to put him on video. I'm going to show y'all how smart this boy is in real estate and how easy this is if you can overlook the hard reality of how somebody delivers. My son is used to it. My dad was military. My dad will holler across the house and everybody got to stand up and start brushing the floor. He's that kind of person. And with my son being raised under that, he understands the firmness out of my voice and understands the sincerity of what I'm doing. It might sound rough, but I'm doing it on your behalf. I could be doing a lot of things, but I'd rather show people how to get money like me. I've been down that road. I see what this can do for you. And I also see there's a need for this in our community. There's no reason there should be vacant houses on the poor side of town when there's money that can be made there. There's no reason people should be coming clear across town about properties in our neighborhood to make money. We can do it ourselves. I know that's not what we're here for, but you know, that's
So
where I'm at.
I don't want to interrupt because that right there, what he just said. If you didn't see that, don't worry. This is recorded. It's on the channel. Go back and rewind what he was saying. But I don't want to veer off track of what we, I want to give people some real life scenarios on the topic that we're talking about.
Good,
So
good.
with the lease option, the sandwich, can you give an example of how someone could use this ethically and legally to control a property?
Most definitely, most definitely. I did it. My first deal out here. Well, it was my first cash deal off a home. A guy had just got out of short story. A guy just got out of prison. His sister was in control of his property for 2 years. She let the water bills stack up to where the city was putting the lien on it. The taxes weren't paid, and he just wanted to get rid of the house. He didn't want to pay all those bills, and I offered him 14,000 for the house on an installment agreement on a land contract, and we worked it out to where I was paying 350 a month for 3 years, and at the end of 3 years, I'll either pay it off or we can go our separate ways. That's the agreement I made with him. All right. And he didn't care. He just wanted some money coming in. And what I did immediately was I called the water company and I showed them my land contract and I said, hey, can I work something out together? I just picked up this property. I'm trying to get this all straightened out. The water company eliminated the debt sum. I think they put it on the last person that was there, but they worked with me. Water bill was gone. Now, what I did, I told him I need 30 days to pay him $700. Didn't have a penny in my pocket to pay for this property. I said I need 30 days to get everything together and do my due diligence. That same day, I put an ad on Craigslist. I said 550 monthly rent. The house was a turnkey. First and last month's rent is all you need to move in. I said your job is your credit. I don't care about your background. I had somebody moved in there in 2 weeks. All right. And out of that 1,100, I paid him seven and put four in my pocket. And I cash flowed it. That was a sandwich deal. Now I don't plan on turning that property over to nobody. That was my cash flow. I'm a wealth builder. I believe in living bill free.
Whoa, whoa,
I
whoa,
be-
whoa, whoa, whoa,
oh,
whoa.
go
Back up
ahead.
right there, bro. What did you
Sir.
say you are? What did you say
A
you were?
wealth builder.
One more time.
A wealth builder.
Okay, so because I got a lot of people that follow me, a lot of good friends in my network, and they claim to be wealth builders. But if ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. If you hearing what this man is saying, he said, I had no intention of turning that property over. Okay. He had no intention. He was going to cash flow it. He was
Yes.
going to accumulate his wealth by controlling a property. Now,
Damn right.
if you understand what he said, he had no cash to his name. I don't
Nope.
I don't know Brother Jonah's credit score at that time, but that was irrelevant.
It's horrible. Yeah,
But
it's horrible.
he put himself in a situation, understood how to maneuver within this exit strategy. And the biggest thing that a lot of people probably overlook this because all of y'all heard money is that he fixed a problem.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. Consulting at its finest. I solve problems. Yes, sir.
So
But it's
so
got to be a win-win for everybody. I got to eat too. You know.
exactly. So when he's saying a wealth builder, ladies and gentlemen, understand what the definition of a wealth builder is and understand what he's saying in context to real estate investing. Someone had a problem, he had a solution, and all he did is put himself in the middle. He got the solution, he fixed the problem, and his wealth has accumulated from that. Okay, go ahead, brother. I
Oh,
just want people to hear that and understand that because
oh yeah.
so many friends that I'm a wealth builder, but
Oh
their
yeah.
actions and their mindset aren't wealth builder mentality. So I just wanted to highlight that, brother.
Oh man, well, I say I've been walking on water. I was homeless last year, and I went from homeless to a rental property. They don't want to know how really magical I am, man. But yeah, that I live bill free. All right, I don't have no bills, and I have bills, but my tenants pay them. You get it? So if just for example, if you have $300 a month in bills, it's your rental property that's bringing in 500. All right, do it again. My goal right now is to get up to 5,000 a month coming in. Once I do that, I think I'm gonna go buy a car that costs about 1,000 a month in car payments. I'm gonna let my tenants pay for it. My mind says let the tenant pay. All off a tenant. All right, that's my goal. Now, My tenants, I'll put a funeral director in the building. I don't care what you do for them. I like business. Now, one of my mentors was focused on being creative and finding other streams of income, which is cool. I got a landscaping company, I got a renovation company, I'm working on a transportation company, and I got money coming in on other sides. But when the market crashed, regular businesses didn't really get affected. The funeral home business was not affected because the market was down.
Oh, look like we lost Brother Jonah for a second.
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, it just looked like you had a little glitch. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was saying
about the funeral
funeral
business.
business, funeral business didn't crash in 2008 with everybody else in the housing market. So what if you had a portfolio full of funeral homes, or a portfolio full of barbershops, or a portfolio full of restaurants? Yeah, I think these people that know how to work on dead bodies, know how to cook, know how to cut hair, are not into real estate. Somebody needs to make sure they have a building. I'm speaking because I know. All right, my dad. I'm speaking from experience. My dad took a loan out on his house to buy a funeral home for us in retirement. All right, and real estate was not his cup of tea. All right, but it depends on where you target your cash flow when it comes to this lease option game. I would stay away from lease options unless I was in the business of selling retail. They call it sandwich retail. Now, off record, I'll touch on that shortly. If you want to go and get a house that has a mortgage on it, let's say the mortgage is 280,000 and the house is worth 300,000. Okay, yeah. I don't think it's gonna hurt anybody if you put a 10% finance on it. If the market value is 300,000 and you put somebody in there at 330,000 and they can't qualify for lending, this is another way to do this. All right, you don't have to put them on a lease option. People, it's real simple. I'm gonna give y'all a jewel today. It's real easy. First, to keep from brokering without a license, set up a JV agreement. All right, I have a JV program. It's a home buying program as well. If the person can't qualify for a home, set up a program where they come in as a partner. All right, and whatever fee you charge them for this, that's between you. If you want to charge people $2,000 to sign up on your JV partnership for a certain home, and the $2,000 goes towards the home, that's fine. And I'm giving you some here, but they need a JV partner with you on an installment agreement with the seller. So if you got the seller locked in on a sub two land contract, whatever it may be, the end buyer needs to be your partner. When it's all said and done, you assign your interests over to your partner. Therefore, you're not brokering without a license, and you're not violating any Dodd-Frank laws. There's no need for a lease option when you're doing sandwich retails or selling a home on finance. It's just insane. These options are designed for people to test the area before they buy it. Plain and simple. And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm all ears for it. I never claimed to be a mastermind genius at everything. Rules change every day. Okay? Every September, laws come up with new laws. If some change, fill me in, because I'm filling you guys in. All right? But as far as I'm concerned, a lease option is not designed to do owner finance with. I'm sorry, I disagree with that fully, completely.
Okay. So there you have it, folks. You heard the pros, you heard the cons. And I think the overall message that we're trying to relay here is understanding what the exit strategy or the situation that you're in when trying to control a property. And lease options are good, but you have to understand what to use it for and the way that they're being portrayed out there in the public. And it could be just the ignorance. People just don't know. They're portraying it in a wrong way that can get you in a lot of hot water. You can practically lose everything. I've been reading, researching, and I've seen instances where individuals had tenants in these properties, okay, and the tenant goes out and fixes the washer or the dryer or the HVAC, and now
Hmm.
the way that it's worked is basically saying that the tenant does not have an equitable interest in it, and that's wrong because they are repairing a property,
Thank you.
so they should have equitable interest in that actual property, and
All of
you
you're right.
get you
You're right.
exactly, and a judge at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what brother Jonah says or what I says, what any book says. It's what that judge says in a court of law, and you will be held liable. and we're just trying to help people understand and educate them that, you know, there's ways to do these things. So I don't want to beat a dead horse to death. I know you had some other things that you wanted to talk about.
Oh,
Dodd
yeah.
Frank.
Oh, yeah. We did it. I touched on that low, but just to capitalize on what you just said, when you go in front of these judges, they're not real estate experts like us. They're gonna look at the fairness of this deal. If your tenant can afford to take care of this house and you can't, he might let them take care of that house. All right, it's your tenant should be doing nothing but paying rent. All right, no rent credits, none of that other crap. And if that's just something that those who have rental properties and you want to get the experience on that, we do have a documented training on that as well. Like I said, I've rented properties. I got rental properties that I'm controlling right now in 3 different states. So, you know, even
Okay,
this
so,
renovation game is
so
something else with these code
before
enforcement people.
before you go too far in your next topic, brother, I really want to shed some light on, you know, Black Capital Consultants and your Facebook group and your JV program. If you can just, you know, explain that and give a little insight
Oh,
on what it's all about, because people may not know. You know, a lot of
right.
people, like I said, we have 400 some people in that group, and it
Yeah,
seems,
yeah.
you know, the same handful are always commenting, adding content, adding value. So, you know, this is going to be out there for the world on YouTube. So individuals may be those bottom feeders, like you said, those shrimps and those little crabs that,
Right.
you know, want to be a part of this. So how, just talk about your
All right.
program and what you have to offer and how people can get involved.
Cool, cool. All right. Just make a long story short, one of my mentors said, "Hey, he passed me the torch. He said, "You got it. You got enough. Go teach your people, man. They need to know right from wrong, or whatever." So my mom's a teacher. I love teaching. I'm a Virgo, and I decided to share what I've learned in my experiences because I needed that when I started. I was like intimidated to ask an investor to show me something. One of my mentors said, "Just take somebody out to eat." I just thought that was the craziest thing ever. But I would love for somebody to take me out to eat, and we talk about real estate all day. I love talking about real estate. But what this JV program is designed for is this: instead of going out spending $20,000 and $30,000 on a course that's really not going to do anything for you, I'm willing to hold your hand and we're gonna walk together through this real estate. Now, let's talk about the advantages of it. Does it cost money? Yes, it costs $150 lifetime fee, but you got me to negotiate. A little background about me. I'm a negotiator. Even when I was selected to be in a syndicate, I was chosen to be the negotiator because I studied contracts and the ins and outs and I pay attention to the guidelines. Now, is that $150 worth it? Well, let's find out. Yesterday, a gentleman negotiated a contract or negotiated a deal. You was on the phone with us about the apartment that's bringing in, for 700,000. That's bringing in a close to 40,000 a year walk away. I believe the profits were. So how does that $150 help that gentleman? Easily. I'm going to get on the phone with those people for him. I'm going to go over the numbers. We did it yesterday. We went over the numbers with him live, but
Indeed.
he paid $150 for me to look over his deals, make sure he's not getting screwed around, and negotiate for him. I'm not getting anything off the deal. He's already paid 150 for my guidance. This is what he paid for. So he called me. We looked at the deal. Me and brother Raymond got on the phone. We all did this together and we analyzed this deal. Now guess what? Monday morning, I'm gonna get on the phone with these people with about 3 or 4 other investors, and we're gonna negotiate this deal for this brother. And he's gonna be on the phone with us. Now that's support. That's backup. When he got in the situation, he blew the whistle. Here we came. Like, what's happening? Let's look at it. And I looked at the numbers for him, and something ain't right. Something ain't right. They saying the cap rate is 6.8. My cap rate is showing 6.36, and I need to know why. And that's what we're gonna be talking about Monday. Because we talking about 700,000, that 3.6 and that point 0.8, man, that's probably $10,000 or $20,000 to slip through. I'm not supposed to do that. I'd rather have that. So I supposed to talk to them and see why they're trying to do that and who's really negotiating this deal. Something he needs help with. He doesn't know anything about that. But what I do like about the young brother, he followed everything I told him to do. I gave him the access to go find these properties. He went on there and found one. And he came, hey, I got one. Look at this. And everything looked good. It's in San Antonio, Texas. So that's what he got. Now, not only that, he has a support team. He can reach out to at least 4 people in our group that love real estate just like I do. They'll be more than happy to answer this question. He can call me on the phone. We can look at deals together. That's what. Now, those who don't pay, we're gonna be partners on these deals I negotiate. You bring a deal and we negotiate it. I'm in on it because you didn't pay for the JV program. But if it's going there and get the deal for us, there's no reason somebody else should get it. That's what the JV program is about. And I specify with my people because the black community is in a different struggle. There's nothing against any other community, but we got left out on a few things, and I need to help our people out. So when you see the black in front of capitalconsultants.com, it's a calling. It is because I'm here to help my people. I don't want us to have to go to jail and learn how to be a man. I don't want us to have to go to the military to learn how to be a man. Just because the father figure's not there, don't mean the big brother's not here. And that's what this is about. But yeah, I love it. I really do. I really do.
Cool. So ladies and gentlemen, basically what you just heard, we're a group of like-minded, investors, whether you're, a brand new individual, in the middle, or seasoned. We definitely have we have that GPS on this highway of or this roadmap of real estate investing, and that's what Brother Jonah is. He is a GPS to tell us or help us, guide us
That's
to,
right.
these things. Because again, when I first, started really dabbing into real estate, that was one of my biggest things. I mean, people say that they're there for you and they say that they're going to help you, but when you're out here in this lonely savage world of real estate investing, it's a lot of sharks, and if you were a chum, you will get eaten. And not understanding contracts and contract laws and understanding different exit strategies, you can lose a lot of money. You can, I mean, a lot of bad things can happen. Not saying that that's not going to happen to you, even if you are educated, because you just can't control, the market. But at least if you're armed with the right education and the right support, it will help guide you through a lot of the red tape and a lot of the pitfalls that you find within the real estate investing world. So, I highly recommend people, come and join us, man. Just, it's free. It doesn't cost you a thing. Partner up, and we can accomplish a lot more, to help our communities. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and there's tons of vacants. I got a good friend, Lola, that's in that area, and her partners, they are buying up everything and fixing it. I mean, a lot of, historical, neighborhoods in West Baltimore, the I mean, even from where I'm from, the whole Park Heights area, all the way to the Walbrook Junction, a lot of historical areas, especially for the black communities, that are being torn down by the city. And it's money there to be made. A lot of the businesses, a lot of the local businesses were moving out of there. And that city is very historic. I love it with all my heart. There's a lot of heritage, a lot of things that this nation was built off. Hell, our Star Spangled Banner was built in Baltimore City. That is
Oh,
where
wow.
Francis Scott Key is from. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So a lot of history is there, and I think real estate is the root of a lot of things that are bad within the city of Baltimore right now, because there are no jobs, there are no commercial businesses and things of that nature, because the real estate infrastructure is broken down there. So this is the things that I look at, the things that I feel can help not only just where I'm from, but major cities from Dallas to Houston to Austin to Los Angeles to New York to Chicago. It's a lot that we can do if we come together and we get educated, because let's just be honest, the elites, and I don't want to make it a race thing, but the elite, which is a very small percentage, this is what they do. This is why their network is the way it is. This is why they control so much of the global economic structure, because they are educated, and if they're not very smart on a certain subject, they have a network or a syndicate of individuals who are subject matters that can guide them through and to control certain aspects that will benefit not only themselves but benefit their communities. And that's what we're just trying to show, and we can't do this alone. And it's something that's not taught in schools. It's definitely not taught in schools. But if we teach this in our communities, and we bring up the next generation to understand economics and real estate and marketing and networking and things of that nature, we will be a lot better off, because we won't be dependent on the powers that be that oppress us. So that's just my take on this.
That's a very good take too. Oh yeah. All right, bro.
Um,
Well,
what else? Anything else you want to talk about? I mean, any deals that that are out there? Well, let me ask you this. For an individual that's watching this, that may be watching it now or may watch it later, what are some things that individuals should look for, and what are some things if I'm brand new, Ramon's brand new, I'm coming to, I think real estate investing is something that I want to get into, something I want to pursue. What are some tips that you would give an individual that's brand new? It's not going to cost them any money or anything like that, but what are some things they should be looking for, some things that they should expect when they're taking this step into the real estate investing world?
All right. First thing I would recommend is this. All right, you've got it. You got enough to get started. You went on YouTube. You got some information. You Google some things. Now, what you need to do first is make sure you are not missing any money in your own backyard. So, what I was taught a long time ago, there's a market everywhere. Right?
Right.
You don't.
The world
You
is
don't
your
want.
market. The
Just
world is your market.
bang. Okay. Now, uh, you don't want to be on YouTube exercising things that work in Dallas when you live in West Virginia. That's what I had to learn the hard way. I had California knowledge, I had Texas knowledge when I was in Ohio Valley. It just ain't working like that. Ohio Valley is a probate. You get a ton of probates where I'm at. Also, it's a land contract, owner finance, because you got pipeliners that are coming and going and people out of state own properties. You can work a deal with the seller and rent it out to these pipeliners that are in town for 6 months to a year. That's my thing. I got a deal on my timeline now. I negotiated down to 8,500, but I put it up there for 10 because if I bring a partner in, I'm gonna need 10 out, from the deal. I need two in my pocket to make sure everything go right. But I can go in right now for 8,500 on an installment, and that's what I do. And I worked it out to where I'm paying 450 a month. And I might go in there and move myself because it's a nice house. I'm still out of town. I negotiated this deal while I was on
That
my flight.
sounds. I mean, that got that deal sounds sweet to me. I'm like, hold on,
Like,
85.
like,
Okay, yeah. I
like,
mean,
I was at the airport negotiating. I said, "Oh man!"
yeah,
So I got to get back to the city, go look at this property. I sent my management team over there to do a walkthrough. But I highly recommend that you learn your backyard. All right, it's cool that you can go and do these. Sorry about that. It's cool that you can go and make money quickly off of signing contracts. Get that in your back pocket. I do recommend that everybody learns how to sign a contract. And I do recommend that people understand the signing contracts is not wholesaling. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be another show. But learn how to sign contracts so when you could go out there and you could just put something on paper and sell that paperwork. Learn how to do that. That can save your day. I was, like I said, I was in Dallas last time. Somebody took everything I owned and I was kind of stuck in Dallas. But on my way to the store, I seen the man emptying out his house and he had just caught on fire. I ain't have $5 to make it back home. I stopped and I grabbed my paperwork out the back seat with my backpack and I said, "Sir, are you interested in selling?" He said, "Yeah, these people next door offered me 55." I said, "I give you 58." I knew a house was worth every bit of 100 grand still because the fire was just in the kitchen area and the house neighborhood was in the 150,000 to 200,000 price range. But he was just trying to get 55. I offered him 3,000 more. And me and brother Chris Lewis, if he's watching, he's in Dallas. Me and him made 11,000 off the deal, man. Yeah. And I was in the car. As a matter of fact, I had a heat stroke, right? But the day before closing, I had a heat stroke because my starter went out and I was trying to fix it on the side of the freeway. I was bedridden when I was getting that money. I went and bought these glasses, throwing up in the mall and everything that day, man. But I was just saying, my surroundings did not determine my future, man. I was
right,
still pushing. Even about
right.
to hit this Texas heat ain't no joke.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Trust me, I'm here with you in Texas. It's like 103 right now, and
you
that's in the shade.
it was last year at this time, man. I was all on Facebook with it. I said I'm back and everything, man. I was real messed up. As LaShondra, she remember they came out to the room and see me. But yeah, I was still making money in real estate because I understood how to sign a contract. That's just something in my back pocket. Your real estate career is gonna end up being like a toolbox. The more tools or the more tools you have, the more surgery you can do. This is a consulting business, and when you start getting into it, you'll learn how to solve all types of problems. You can't just really focus on one thing. And to be honest with you, if you focus on one thing, you might get left out. Here it is, you trying to focus on assigning contracts, and you missing $30,000 on a sub two deal right here. How you gonna sleep at night knowing you missed $30,000 trying to sign a contract for 5 to 10? I would rather learn how to do all this. And you got to treat this like college and then the real business. You need to learn how to do a lot of things. In this business, being a master of some things is good. My goal is this. I want to be a real estate attorney Sounds far-fetched, don't sound like a great plan, but my real estate attorney, being a law firm in real estate, will help me guide myself on my other investments. Right? I'm gonna have a real estate law firm right here, but I'm gonna have investments in islands, investments in properties and commercial. And my law firm is gonna monitor all my transactions and other people's transactions. Another thing in the black community, all civil rights are violated left and right. People don't know that. You have to go to real estate school to learn that people can't violate your civil rights laws when they selling these houses. So when you do run into these situations, you need to know what to look for. We can have a field day for the lawsuit if we just stuck together and start looking at the injustice. I mean, it's not a secret. You can look down in history where people didn't want people in their neighborhood because of their color. Even right now, I don't know her name, but it's a lady that's running for president. She's of color. She was at the Essence Award. She's trying to get $100 million to justify all the redlining that's been done in the past. See? So it's a need out there for support. There's a need out there for people that's going to stick up for you. All right. It's going to take some education. I don't mind mastermind. I would love to sit up and talk to 3 or 4 of us about real estate. Let's go over the laws. Let's talk about Dodd-Frank. Let's talk about a land trust. A lot of people don't know what a trust is. Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's find out everything it is and know about it. Let's learn it enough to where we can teach it confidently. But we have confidence in what we teach, right? And let's go out and help somebody with it. And that's another thing I want to say. Don't underestimate what you know. All right. I had somebody come to me, true story, had $5,000 tied up at the title office, thought it was lost. It was a bad deal. I said, no, sir, it's not lost. You got to sign off on that. If you ain't signed off on it, the state keeps it. Now let me look at that contract. Now I looked at the contract. I said, oh man, this contract is predicated on fraud. Do you want your money back? Yeah, I want my back. You tell that I said this. You sending this email and CC me in it. And you telling you ready to go to court. The response was my $5,000 will be back Monday. And the man shot me some money out there 5. And he's been my best friend ever since. He's a silent partner right now. He's Sicilian. He's not black. He's an Italian. And me and him make a lot of money together. But don't underestimate your knowledge. That's why that was the point in that. He was buying properties and in his name. Still, he didn't know about LLCs. There's a lot of people know more about LLCs than the average Joe.
Yeah, and not having the right entity and doing dealing in real estate is like playing Russian roulette,
Boy,
and not only in a bad way but in a good way, because with an LLC you now have opened the door, especially laws that have been written into law, policies that have been written into law. With an LLC, you now open your doors to a lot of tax breaks and different different tax as far as things that you do or write-offs. Like I'm pretty sure you can, when you're traveling, checking on your properties all over the United States, that's a write-off because he is doing that underneath, Morocco Realty LLC, which means that he has to pay for airfare, has to pay for gas. Oh, he has to eat. Oh yeah, the hotel. Oh, by the way, the wear and tear on my vehicle that I'm, it's so many tax breaks. And if you look
it is. Say, man, you can go to the golf course and talk about real estate. That's a tax write-off.
I mean, honestly, you could go to Walmart. You could go to Walmart. People don't know this, but you can go to Walmart, buy, $150 worth of groceries, have a meeting at your house, okay, and talk about real estate, and that's a whole tax write-off because you were in business. You know what I'm saying? And those are the pillars of wealth. The people that are wealthy is taxing. It's called taxation, understanding tax laws, real estate. It's certain pillars to this thing called wealth. And if you can be a little bit, not a master, but if you understand those pillars, you're going to be well off. You're going to be well off because you're going to know how to control properties. Okay, you're going to know how to benefit from tax breaks and things of that nature, because the regular W-2 employee, okay, they're getting taxed. But a business owner and an entrepreneur that has the right entity, they can receive up to 35 to 50% in tax breaks, and then they can have their family members as 1099 employees, and that's another. I mean, it's so many different things that comes to this real estate thing, but a lot of people don't even know that because, again, the lack of education, the lack of, having a mentor. And I highly recommend people don't just have one. Jonah is just one of the many people that I can find in, because some of his ideas and some of the things that he believes in, some of my mentors may not. But I do tell you this, they all are experienced and they all recognize on helping people. So I recommend having more than one mentor.
Oh yeah.
Especially in this business,
I
So
got six. I
yeah,
got
yeah.
six.
I think you call them, your round table.
Yeah, board of directors. Say,
Yeah,
I'm looking for six more. I'm looking
right.
for the directors in the commercial world. I wish Donald Trump would show up around here. I'll follow him around here. I know y'all don't like him, but that mother called the real estate, man. I ain't
In-
gonna lie. I
Indeed,
really love real estate like that, man.
indeed, indeed.
Y'all would call me Kanye West around here, because I'd be all on that, man. Hey, man, how you get that hotel? Yeah, I'm all
Yeah,
in there.
indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. So, and wrapping this first and epic episode of Roundtable Talking Real Estate. Any closing arguments or anything that you think that people should take in consideration going into a new week, or anything that you just want to close out with before we wrap this up, bro?
Oh, yeah. Family first. Keep your heart right with God. And remember, your legacy is what you really should be doing this for. If you have children, they looking at you, man. Trust me. My son, he's following me so much, I ain't realize how much he followed me. So, I live my life. Man, I'm almost 40, so it's all about these kids. So, everything I do is really for them, but I do it for the community too, man. I want my son to see that this is what's happening. I want him to grow up and teach the people too, man. If he have to, if he knows something that can help somebody, I want him to help, man. That's really what it's about. A good name, man. I was raised in private school. I know the Bible, and even though a lot of people don't really understand how the Bible really works, because it was a tool used in slavery, there's a lot of wisdom in that book. That Bible is a whole bunch of wisdom. So if you can look past the bull, you can learn something from that book, man. And what I learned is a good name is better than gold. And that's what it's really all about. That's one of the things I can bring to you on that. And that's what I really want to go on. Oh, yeah. And also what we talked about, luck. It's all about how you take it, man. You can be optimistic and be looking for luck, and then you're lucky. Or you could be a pessimist, and then you like, if bad luck hit me, it don't bother me. But look for the good, prepare for the worst. They tell you that in jail, and I'm gonna tell you that here too, man. It's gonna work for you. Be able to have perseverance, man. Don't let the bad days get you down. And I really appreciate this, Raymond. This is a really good thing you got going, brother. I really appreciate
Dope,
all
dope,
of it.
dope. So how can individuals get in contact with you, man? You got a Facebook, a YouTube, a phone
Oh,
number. Of course, you're going to be on here with me, but I mean, how can individuals get in contact with Jonah Wilson?
oh, so many ways. I got about 15 phone numbers. But you can find me on Facebook. Jonah Wilson, Jonah in the Bible. Wilson is that strong name y'all see everywhere, man. Raymond Wilson, Jonah Wilson. We Wilsons around here, man. So you go on Facebook. You can also find us at Capital Commercial Investors. That's on Facebook. Capital Commercial Investors Building Black Wealth. However, we have a group. Raymond Wilson's in it. Elliot, we got a lot of members that are in this company called Capital Commercial Investors. It's a real company. We as a team put our money in, and we had the business set up. We got the business cards. And even though I set all that up, I'm not even the CEO. I'm the CFO. I think Courtney or Jenna, one of them is the CEO. I don't even think they know it. It's just a group thing. We work as a unit. We got a 1-855-411-0500 is a number we use when we're dealing with commercial deals. We have a NOI at
What was
capitalcommercialinvestors.com.
that number again, brother?
Yeah, 855-411-0500. And our website, our website is capitalcommercialinvestors.com. Our Facebook page is Capital Commercial Investors. Also, our Facebook is Capital Commercial Investors Building Black Wealth. Now, our email to that, if you got to deal with this commercial deal, it's designed around commercial. It's NOI at capitalcommercialinvestors.com. And NOI means net operating income. And I'm pretty sure one day we're going to go into commercial and how you figure out your cap rates, and when you could do what we did yesterday to see if somebody's really lying to you about these numbers, because brokers lie. And sometimes it's out of misinformed. So that's what I wanted to end with. Keep your luck up. Reach us on Facebook. You can find that black cap. That's that. There it is. And then right there, blackcapitalconsultants.com. That's my website. You can find and schedule an appointment and get a link to the group just in case you can't find us. But I do highly invite everybody. I recommend that you join us. We love real estate. This is what we talk about. I would love to go further with this. because sub 2 is real hot, and I think the due on sale clauses just start popping up on everybody. So we need to
Indeed,
talk about
indeed.
land
So,
trust and all that.
honestly, I think that will be the next topic that we talk about, the sub two, because I'm very
Yeah,
interested in that. My backyard, where I'm at here in Killeen, it's a military town.
yes,
That
sir.
that is the hot thing out here, you know, for real estate investors is sub two deals. So I think that should be the next topic. We can go over that, you know, and give some examples and talk about, you know, how individuals can utilize that strategy as well to control and acquire real estate property. So again, brother, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank everybody for commenting, you know, joining in. Again, if you have not subscribed, at the bottom of this video, somewhere left or right, there's a subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell so that when we upload new content or go live, you get notified. Join in, check us out on Facebook, and we'll see all you guys on the next video. And with that being due, appreciate you, brother Jonah. God bless everybody. We see
God
y'all in
bless.
the next video.
Thank you. Bye bye.